Every single time that I see someone here on BookTube describe this book, they describe it kind of like this beautifully written fantasyland kind of book. And you know what? I don't agree with that. Hello readers, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about Every Heart a Doorway by Seanan McGuire. If you've been here on BookTube for like more than 2 seconds, you know this book, at least the cover, because it's just, yes, it is gorgeous, you know. And every time that I hear someone talking about this, they're like, oh, this beautiful fantasy book, and it is fantasy, but it's a little bit darker than a lot of people really tell you. We are following Nancy, who comes into this school, which is more like a boarding school, really, and like the headmaster is called Eleanor, and she starts talking nonsense when she comes in, and you don't understand what the hell is going on at the beginning, and then you realize that the kids that she's taking into this school are a little bit different. They've gone to different worlds. They can open a little door or a big door or a regular door sometimes and go into these sometimes fairylands, sometimes, you know, weird places like hell, or I think it was hell, but they're describing this like the place of the dead or something like that, so that it won't sound so bad. But basically it's hell, in my opinion. And it's kind of really dark in that sense. You are following all of these kids. I love, let's talk about representation in here. I love that there's so much representation in this book. The main character, Nancy, is asexual. And the reason that I like the way that this is done is because people don't know. Like, they go into this place and she's like, oh, I'm asexual. And people are like, what? And I love that in parts of the book she goes into like asexual versus aromantic, why it's different, things like that. So I like the representation of the book because it explains as it goes along how the characters really feel, and I love that. We have a transgender boy, like, and it's funny because he was kicked out of his fairyland because everyone thought he was a girl, and then it turns out he's a boy and he gets kicked out. And the peculiar thing about these kids is that they miss the places that they've gone. Like, they really want to go back so badly that they, like, the whole purpose is to just go back to these worlds. And so everything is nice and peachy. It is crazy the way that they talk sometimes about these worlds and what they've gone through and all of that. And obviously their parents don't want them home anymore, so they send them into this boarding school. And the interesting thing comes when, that's not the main thing, okay? The interesting part comes when children start to get murdered. So we don't know who the murderer is. They're trying to figure it out. We follow obviously Nancy and her close friends. She's a really unique girl because she's just, you know, she's been to the place of the dead. She doesn't talk much. She has this thing where she keeps still, and that's the way that she survives. Like, everyone has their different thing depending on where they go. And it's nice to see how they get united. I like the whole mystery part of the book. That was nice. It's a really short book as well, so if you want something entertaining, fun, mysterious, a little bit dark maybe to read, I would totally recommend this book. But the thing is, you really get to see these characters kind of cope with being kind of thrown out of these worlds, a lot of them thinking that they're gonna go bad, they have to go back, you know. How they are put together and how they cope with that, I think, is the interesting relationship part of the book. So yeah, I think this is an interesting book to really get into the characters, even though the story is great and all of that. But like I said, everyone has its own thing, so it's nice and interesting to go really deep and just like try to figure out these characters and just try to get in their minds and just try to figure them out. I think is one of the most beautiful things about the book. But yes, I don't think it is like a beautiful fairyland. Like, no, this is kind of dark, mysterious. Great representation though, I really did like that. There's also a part with someone, it's like, you're not even a boy, you're a girl. And everyone's just like, oh! I love that, and I love how real that feels, because a lot of the time that's exactly what happens. Like someone just breaks and suddenly their true colors, their true personality comes out, and everyone's like, I can't believe you're such a horrendous human being. So yeah, again, characters is what really I am going to be there for. Yes, I'm going to be continuing this series. I don't know how many books there are. The ending of this one, I loved it. I think it was a really big one, and hopefully the next book we are still following Nancy, because I really, really want to follow through her story because I enjoy that so much. So yes, thank you so much for watching. Let me know if you read this book, what your thoughts on it are, or if you haven't, are you planning on reading this one? Because everyone seems to love this, everyone seems to be reading this, but I've seen this in everyone's like really top favorites, and I don't know if it's my top favorite. It is an enjoyable read, that's for sure, but you know, to put it in such a big pedestal, I don't know. Anyways, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy. Make sure you are subscribed for more bookish videos and book reviews, and I will see you guys on my next video. Bye!